Hello, and welcome to CONsoleRoom's digital Consuite for our 2021 convention. This year, I'll be bringing the hot food to you via these cooking videos in order to provide some of the Consuite experience for you in the comfort of your home. For this video, I'll be making grilled cheese sandwiches that many of you have come to love and expect at CONsoleRoom's Consuite. First, I'll show you exactly how we make them at our convention, and then I'll show you a few ways to make even fancier versions of our beloved grilled cheese sandwich. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed CONsoleRoom 2021. For this video, the ingredients are split into two groups: the Consuite style grilled cheese ingredients and the fancier version you can make at home. For those served in Consuite, we'll use margarine spread, white and split top wheat bread, Costco mozzarella and sharp cheddar, and some pepperoni. For the fancier style, I'm using homemade white bread, salted and unsalted butter, 3 kinds of cheeses that I'll grate by hand, and 2 sliced deli meats. Now's a good time to start preheating your pan, probably medium heat depending on your stovetop or griddle. We'll start by buttering one side of each piece of bread. I personally don't butter both sides as it can get too soggy for my preference. You'll know the pan's at the right temperature when you hear that sizzle, but if it's too hot, just lower the temp and take the pan off the burner for the moment. After you've added the cheese, you'll just want to wait until the cheese melts. Once the cheese is melted and the bread is toasting nicely, carefully place one slice on top of the other and cook until it looks nice and crispy to you. I combine them a little prematurely, but if this happens to you, just continue to cook each side until they're as crispy as you'd prefer. After taking the grilled cheese off the pan, it's good to let them rest for a minute or two before slicing. Diagonal cuts are definitely a crowd pleaser. Now we can admire that cheesy goodness. Since we like to stock white and wheat bread in Consuite, I'll be showing a grilled cheese using not only wheat bread, but also some protein. Besides the wheat bread, the process is the same as before. I hope you enjoy that sizzle as much as I do. If you're not sure if your pan's hot enough, try flicking a bit of water onto it. How it reacts is a good way to gauge how hot the pan is. A lot of you may have seen me doing that to the griddles during CONsoleRoom. Now here's the protein I mentioned earlier. These are the same pepperoni used on the Consuite pizzas. The pepperoni helped to add flavor and variety to a seemingly simple dish during the convention. That looks just about done. Now let's cut our crispy grilled cheese. You can see the pepperoni in between our nice cheesy layers. Now we'll start making the fancier grilled cheese, and that starts with this loaf of homemade bread. For my homemade loaf of bread, I have to start by cutting it. Folks don't say the best thing since sliced bread for no reason. Now I'll count out an even number of slices and remove the crust pieces for this video. Nothing against the crust except they won't look as pretty on camera. Now for these sandwiches I'll be using salted and unsalted butter, sharp cheddar, mozzarella, and aged white cheddar, along with smoked turkey and uncured deli ham, and also some garlic powder and dried parsley flakes. We'll start by grating the cheese, in this case, aged white cheddar. White cheddar will taste similar to the more typical yellow cheddar most are used to, but helps add depth to the 3-cheese blend I'm using in the fancy grilled cheese sandwiches. I'm grating a lot of cheese here to make lots of sandwiches so I can ensure one of them turns out well for this video. Next we're grating the mozzarella, which is a softer cheese, so it's best to grab this right from the fridge for easier grating. Mozzarella is also the cheese that's going to melt the best and gives us those satisfying strings of melted cheese. My hands were definitely getting tired grating all this cheese with this grater, but this looked the best for the video. Now I prefer sharp cheddar for its more bold and distinct flavor, but if that's not to your liking, mild cheddar works just as well. Now a big difference between grating the cheese and buying pre-shredded cheese is that pre-shredded cheese has extra ingredients to prevent caking or clumping. The Costco cheese, for instance, has potato starch and rice flour, which can interfere with melting or cooking. Now that our cheeses are grated and bread is sliced, we can butter the bread slices and make a fancy grilled cheese sandwich. The best way to soften the butter for this is to let it sit at room temperature for several hours, but you'll want to plan for these ahead of time in that case. Now the difference between salted and unsalted butter is fairly negligible, so it's completely up to your tastes and preferences for which one you want to use. At this point, I bet you know how that sizzle would sound. After adding the 3-cheese blend, a few pieces of deli ham are going onto one of the slices of bread. On the other slice, I'm sprinkling some parsley flakes, which I find to add some extra spice and brighten up dishes, as well as adding a little visual pizzazz. Just like our other sandwiches, we'll cook until the cheese melts, combine the pieces, and then flip until reaching desired doneness. Now it's the best part, cutting open this great looking grilled cheese sandwich. You can see the parsley flakes in that ooey gooey cheese beside that tasty looking deli ham. Now it's a second fancy sandwich, but this time with deli turkey. This one's my spouse's favorite grilled cheese and they were definitely happy about this video. Last but not least, here's me cutting the fancy grilled cheese with deli turkey. I didn't get very good audio, but I know you'll hear that tasty crunch in your mind. Looks delicious. Here's breakfast, lunch, dinner, or whatever meal you're hopefully enjoying. Thanks for watching and I hope you enjoy CONsoleRoom 2021.